Hey, Amanda here, bringing you into our life at Hotel Moro. This week's video, I'm going to be working on a dresser. It's a family heirloom. We've had it in the family since at least the 40s. And it had sat outside for a couple of years. It was in really rough shape. But I wanted to make it usable again and something that we could use in one of our rooms here at the hotel. If you're new here, please subscribe. It's totally free to do so, and you can change your mind at any time. Don't forget to hit the notification bell if you want to be notified every time our videos are posted, which should be every Tuesday. Now let's get started. So this dresser here is not one that we found in the hotel. It's one that's been in our family for quite a while, and it's just kind of past hands, and it has spent some time outside. It needs a lot of work done to restore its finish. So I'm just gonna start working on it. And to start off, I think I'm going to come in here and I'm going to remove the hardware. And these knobs are not original. It looks like it used to have some kind of a handle instead of a pole. So I'll need to find something to replace those with. And then I will sand off the old damaged finish. And I think I'm going to probably just put like a hemp oil on the wood to recondition it and give it some new life without really changing the look of the wood. And I quickly realized that there's more varnish left on these drawers and things than I thought. So I went and got out my citrus strip, and I am doing a layer of that and scraping and cleaning off as much as I can with that before I sand, because I don't want to take off too much of the wood. I don't want to like damage the piece. So I'm starting by stripping, and we'll see how this process unfolds. Through and I took my plastic scraper tool and I scraped off all the goopy stuff, and now I'm going to use like a Scotch-Brite pad, and I'm going to use a little bit more stripper and clean all the extra goopy residue off because it's still pretty sticky, lots of stuff on there still. So I'll scrape that off or scrub it off with a Scotch-Brite pad and citrus strip. My coat of citrus strip, I scrape it off with a plastic scraper, and then I go back over with steel wool, and I think right now I'm using kind of like a medium coarse steel wool. I put a little more citrus strip in it, and then I'm like washing off as much of the residue and liquefied varnish and all of that as I can in that process. And then once I'm done getting as much off as I can, all the varnish has been removed, then I take the odorless mineral spirits on a paper towel or a rag or something, and I wipe all of the remaining off, the liquefied varnish and also the citrus strip. The odorless mineral spirits kind of pulls all that out. And then as you let it dry, we usually give it like 24 hours or so, but these ones I just did, and then these ones have been done for a while. So that's kind of the process. And then I'll give everything kind of a light sanding at that point and be ready to refinish. Just went on, cut the feet off the dresser. One of the feet was in really bad shape. It came off in chunks. I measured them all at 45 inches and cut it off, and you can see that there was quite a variation in how much actually came off. So with the wood rotting over time and just the damage to it, it was a little bit unstable, so I trimmed it up, and now it's a lot nicer. So my next step is I take my Fusion Mineral Paint hemp oil and I rub that onto my wood, and that's how I'm going to finish this piece. I'm not going to paint it or anything. I'm just going to bring out the natural beauty back into the wood. So it'll probably take a few coats of this. It's probably, since it's really old, the wood's probably really dry and going to absorb a lot of this. So every couple of hours, I throw on some coats until it seems to not be absorbing it anymore. All right, so I've gone and put the original hardware back on. It just had some little tiny nails. So I got those on, and then these are the new handles that I picked up at Home Depot, and they look like they're the right color and they will actually fit. So that was my first test one, and now I just need to put the rest of them on. Alright, so I started installing my handles, and a few of the holes just aren't quite lined up, so I'm going to take my drill and make them a little bit bigger and, well, a little bit closer together and get my handles installed the rest of the way.